Now, I know it's a bit subjective, but in my opinion, the BBC have balls this one right up. Hi, it's me again, and one of you brilliant people out there sent me this story. There's so many BBC stories about them, and I can't catch them all. So if you see one kicking about that you think might be of interest to me, you'll find out how to contact me in the description box below. But this one made me a bit sad because I really enjoyed this show. Have a look at this headline. Only Fools and Horses icon Nicholas Lyndhurst won't reprise Goodnight Sweetheart role after BBC snub. I'd genuinely forgotten that Goodnight Sweetheart even existed until I got sent this article, and then I remember how much I enjoyed it. And it takes a really high quality actor to be able to move from role to role and make it brilliant. I mean, he must have learnt that from David Jason, right? How many amazing parts did David Jason play and give his all to it? And Nicholas Lyndhurst can go from being Rodney to the bloke in Goodnight Sweetheart and still believable, not typecast at all. Quality acting. And it was a really good show. So to hear that they could have brought it back and didn't, I reckon they balls that up. Goodnight Sweetheart may never be reincarnated onto our television screens after BBC chiefs allegedly turned down a new series of the famous 90s show. The show's writer Lawrence Marks was up for penning a new batch of episodes to make viewers giggle and said he offered it to executives. Despite the show's popularity and well-established fan base, Lawrence claims he was snubbed and said he was told the corporation wanted to focus on new ideas. Well, new ideas like bringing Alfie back into EastEnders, bringing back all those classic characters and then doing a spin-off on EastEnders so that you can get Barbara Windsor's name back into it, even though it's not actually Barbara Windsor playing it, you've said it in 1979 rollback thing. All those original ideas you're talking about. No, bringing back classics because you've run out of good ideas is what people do now. That is new. But, you know, the BBC own, it's known for the BBC, this sort of thing. You should have taken it, BBC. You should have taken it. I mean, Black Mirror was a fantastic show, and that was Channel 4. Now, it got bought by Netflix and is bigger than ever. If I was this Lawrence Marks bloke and BBC didn't own the IP to Goodnight Sweetheart, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be knocking on Netflix's door tomorrow, and they would snap it up. They'd snap it up. We could have done another series of Goodnight Sweetheart, but the BBC pulled back from that. They got frightened that they were putting on too many old shows that had already been seen. So instead they put on shows that nobody wanted to watch, and that's their choice. Goodnight Sweetheart pulled in 13 million viewers at its peak. God, the BBC would dream of getting 13 million viewers on an episode of something now. They can't even get close to that. Not close to that. I think big stuff like the football and the Olympic opening ceremony and that, they're hitting that, obviously. But they're not BBC shows, are they? The Beeb also turned down a new series of Are You Being Served, despite it being a hit with viewers. Instead, execs used licence fee cash to commission sitcoms including Holding the Sunset, Warren and Semi-Detached. And absolute dross like Mrs. Brown's Boys that cost them a fortune and is now hemorrhaging viewers. It hemorrhaged viewers. He said you can't be vicious to people anymore. Everyone has to be nice and everyone has to be spoon-fed by the hand to safe places. You can't talk about the things that you find funny because of what I believe is called cancel culture. So you avoid them. And if you avoid them, you lose the humour. Lawrence, who also penned the smash hit Birds of a Feather, added, my entire career was made of not going to safe places. Blimey, he wrote some good stuff then, didn't he? Goodnight Sweetheart I thought was fantastic family viewing. It was really, really good. I watched it in the 90s. I was a young teenager and I did enjoy it. And I might try and find a way to watch it now. I might see if there's a dodgy download or if it's somewhere I can stream it, not iPlayer, obviously. But he also wrote Birds of a Feather. Not my cup of tea, but that was another big show, wouldn't it? The BBC should be beating down this bloke's door saying, give us something. Give us something good for the people. And they're not. It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all, doesn't it? You can't tell me if David Jason went to the BBC, if he was still in good nick, that is, and said, come on, let's do another whole series of Only Fools and Horses. They'd bite his hand off, wouldn't they? Well, why not Goodnight Sweetheart? What is it? Is it because he's cheating? He's got 2 wives? All of that? You can't promote that or something? Or a lack of diversity in the 40s, maybe? I don't know. But it seems like a balls up by the BBC to me, this one, because subjectively, obviously, I thought it was a bloody good show. So did you enjoy Goodnight Sweetheart? You know my thoughts on it now. Did you like it? I thought it was really good. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And if you think the BBC completely balls this up, by not taking another series of it. Yeah, they did, didn't they? They must have. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And that way, hopefully, I'll get to see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da!